What's up, Hardys and Hardos? As Al said on the Al Travis show this morning.
Quoting
it's the
Al
second,
to start the show?
Absolutely. It's one of the best sport days of the entire year. He put it didn't he put it second behind the Super Bowl? I don't know if I'll go that far. I think maybe the start of March Madness is a little better than that, but it's the start of the NBA Finals today, y'all. NBA Finals is kicking off here in about 3-4 hours. We'll talk about that later. But episode 60, Spinny, we're going to have to start getting creative with our guys here. Who do you got?
I got Chuck Badanic. That's all we got. NFL
legend.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah. I guess that's all we needed then.
That's all we needed. Yeah.
I
mean, I feel like there could have been a number 60. There might be hockey, right? Hockey, I feel like, is the sport we might be missing one. But sorry if we missed someone obvious, our hockey fans, who probably aren't listening anyway. But we love you still. And on that sad and depressing hockey note, let's get some music going.
Well, Hardy's and Hardos, we got to start episode 60 off with some breaking headlines. They're all NBA related. We're approaching the offseason, as we all know, so things are starting to heat up. Coaches are getting hired, and that's what we're going to start with. 3 coaches got hired since the last time we talked. Adrian Griffin, hired as the Bucks coach. For those that don't know him, that's AJ Griffin, former Duke player, Hawks player now. That's his dad. So Adrian Griffin Sr., Nick Nurse hired as the 76ers coach, and Monty Williams hired as the Pistons coach. I didn't see if he was officially the highest paid coach in the league, but he is, isn't he?
He's
gotta be.
6 years, $78.5 million. Potential incentives base for up to 8 years, $100 million.
Yeah. He's getting $12 million. Like, what? I saw their salary cap table. He was like, I think there's maybe 2 or 3 players on the Pistons that are getting paid more than him. That's it. That is it.
That is funny. But they wanted him, and he turned down the job, right? And said he was out on it. And then basically it sounds like they called him back, and they're like, hey, can we pay you more money? So, makes sense. I mean, the Pistons have some upside, and I would take that job for over 12 mil a year. I'm taking it. Give it to me.
Yeah. So, do you think it makes sense from their perspective, though? Obviously, it makes sense.
I think Monty's good with a young team, and I think they don't expect a lot for a while. So, excuse me, he's gonna have a long leash, and those first couple of years, they just want him to be borderline playoff, playing team. That's all they're looking for. As long as you're that within a couple of years, you'll be fine.
Yeah, establish an identity as a team. That's definitely
figuring out what to do with Cade and Jaden Ivey.
And who's I'm drawing a blank. Jalen Duren.
Yeah,
he might turn into a stud athletic freak. I mean, it obviously makes sense to hire a veteran coach with all those young guys and establish identity, and hopefully that'll get things rolling for them. How about Adrian Griffin and Nick Nurse? That one kind of puzzles me. He was obviously Adrian Griffin. I'm getting at that he was obviously in talks with a lot of these teams, but I don't know much about his coaching history other than he was just an assistant coach. Obviously, what do you think about that? Other not getting Nick Nurse, not going for Monty Williams, going the Adrian Griffin route for the Bucks.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want Monty Williams as the Bucks. Nick Nurse I thought was good, but it sounds like he wasn't interested in that job. So
yeah, it was the Suns or Sixers for him, right?
Yeah,
that's all he was really debating on.
Which I want to see him with the Suns. That that I thought was going to be better. I definitely did not want to see him with the Sixers. I think he's going to do some good things with them. It'll be interesting to see what happens with James Harden, if they can get Fred VanVleet, like all that type of stuff will kind of figure itself out. Because, like, I'm telling you what, right now, I'm not scared of Embiid, Fred VanVleet, and Tyrese Maxey. Not scared as Boston or Milwaukee. Not
No,
scared.
I wouldn't be either. No.
Not scared.
No.
No.
I mean, what? Fred's like, I think he shot like 39% last year from the field. Like, who cares?
Yeah, he's good, but
He has playoff experience, but who cares? It's
and
not really going to push you over the top.
and biggest choker in MVP history, Joel Embiid doesn't scare me too much either. I mean, I love the guy, amazing player, unbelievable, 33 whatever a game, but I get to call him that because he's the only MVP never to make a conference finals, so I get to
I know.
actually call him that and not be just a jerk. So I'm gonna take it.
About Adrian Griffin, though. Nick Nurse makes sense. Adrian Griffin. I guess all I got to say about
Did they
that.
have a better option?
No, I guess not really. Like, sure, there's other assistants across the league that they could have hired, but like, is that quote unquote a better option? Probably not. I guess I did see.
The running.
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, other than Nick Nurse, obviously. But I did see that this is like Giannis's dude. Like, he loves Adrian Griffin, though.
Yeah.
So that obviously is why they chose him and not Ultimate.
If that's why, then that's a good decision because
Yeah.
that's you got to keep him in. Goal number one for the rest of Giannis's career is keep him in Milwaukee for the Bucks.
Is please him, yes.
The number one franchise goal is do whatever this man wants.
Yeah, literally.
So
then we got – so that's a little coach carousel for y'all. We got 2 teams left to hire a coach. Budenholzer's available, obviously, still. Kevin Young is rumored to be the favorite for the Suns job, but the Raptors job would be the other opening. Suns and Raptors are the last 2. So we might be talking about that next week already. I'm sure that's going to be finalized here shortly.
Oh, C's aren't going to fire Joe. Joe Maz is safe.
They came out and said that already?
He even said that in a press conference this afternoon.
I did not see that.
Joe Maz not getting fired, according to Brad Stevens.
What are they going to do? We talked about bringing in a more experienced assistant. Now they ultimately don't have any other choice now, since this leads to our other headline. 3, right? Or was it 4? 3 assistant coaches left.
Yep.
Left the Boston Celtics to go and join Ime Udoka's staff. I find this absolutely hilarious. It just shows that all the coaches loved him, all the players loved him. They obviously the situation. It is what it is, and ultimately they probably did have to fire him. But this is biting them in the butt, that's for sure.
Yeah, Ben Sullivan, Aaron Miles, and Mike Moser, all 3 guys dipping out. Going.
Were they front row coaches?
We'll have to see.
I don't know anything about their staff, but
I just wish we had some. I'd be interested to see assistant coach rumors for Boston.
No idea if he would even want an assistant coaching job, but like, would you like someone like Mike Budenholzer coming on, or no?
No. I mean, is there anybody better? I guess. I mean, I guess he's probably got to be good at something, right? Like, he's got to be good at like teaching something. Can he get Jaylen Brown to dribble with his left hand? Like, if he can do that, I'm in.
Can anybody do that?
Can we just bring someone in that can figure that out? Because I'd pay that guy a lot of money. That guy's getting 7 figures from me if he can figure that shit out. Honestly,
man, I don't know if that's going to be figured out though. Honestly.
It's got to be. There's no way. I'm sorry, little tangent for 5 seconds, but there's no way he doesn't go into this offseason and only work on that, especially if they give him a tag.
No, I totally agree, but like, he's had to have been doing that already, right? Like, this was a known issue for a couple of years now. People were calling him out last year already, like, especially in the finals. Like, yeah, he was the best player in the finals for the Celtics last year, but anytime he turned the ball over, it's because he went to his left hand. He can't dribble. I just don't get it. He's the only top 20 player, top 25 player in the league that can't dribble. The only one.
And he does everything else so well. His shot selection has gotten so good.
Yeah.
That's one thing I do love about Jalen. I mean, there was some moments in the final or in the Eastern Conference Finals where his shot selection wasn't good, but I attribute that more to how the offense was looking and him just being like that one possession where he stood there for like 10 seconds and then just looked around and like nobody did anything.
And then he just shot it.
Yeah. It's like, okay, that stuff's stupid, but that to me is more off-seas offense issues. But anyways, let's get back on topic.
Yeah, we'll dive a little more into that. I'm going to have to get some more of your thoughts and opinions on the Celtics as a whole later when we talk about the playoffs. Our last headline, though, Bob Myers steps down as Warriors GM. I think it's over. I think it's officially over. Maybe it's not, but I'm pretty confident saying the dynasty is over, Spinny. They have Draymond with a player option, so he might not even be on the team next year. Clay has a player option. He's going to accept it because it's like $40 million. He knows he ain't getting that anywhere else. So he's maybe gone after next year. Steve Kerr, next season is his last year under contract. There's a lot of rumors that he's going to take over for Popovich in San Antonio, which I don't really get.
Why?
Yeah, I don't really get that either. But
I mean,
it's because he played for him, right?
And Victor, I suppose.
And Victor too, but like he played for Popovich, so that would be like the connection of San Antonio, right?
I guess you want to ship. I get it, but
there hasn't been any traction with. Well, now that Bob Myers steps down, like I think that almost solidifies him leaving the Warriors because the new GM is probably going to want to hire his guy or like, you know what I mean? Don't you think or no?
It's Steve Kerr. Are you going to get any better?
I know. You're not getting any better.
That's
you're not.
Like you might want to go a different direction, but it's like
he's top 5 coach in the league.
Yeah. You rather have Mike Budenholzer or what? Because that's what we're looking at.
Yeah.
That's the downgrade we're looking at right now. And who knows? Maybe Victor will be this unstoppable, amazing player, and then Kerr obviously would go there. Then.
Yeah.
But is Pop going to retire? I just find that weird. Pop endured all these crap teams for this long, for this little stretch. He endured this. He gets the number 1 pick, a guy that has unbelievable upside, and then he retires. It just doesn't make sense. Like why grind it out for this just to retire right when it happens?
Yeah, that is a very good point. He is 74 years old though, so like he's getting up there.
Yeah, he got a good 10 years left.
10? He's gonna be on the sideline until he's 84. Are you kidding me?
How old's Coach K? Coach K's in his 80s.
Coach K.
He's got to be close, right?
He is 76 years old.
Shoot.
So, yeah, I think Pop's getting there. He's getting close there.
Shoot. Well, if our president can be 80, Greg Popovich should be able to be 80, right?
Not wrong. I mean, he is the president of the Spurs, so.
Maybe they hire a GM. Maybe they hire Bob Myers. And then Pop just coaches. And then when he really wants to be done, then Kerr dips.
Bob Myers has been linked to Washington because he's from there. The Wizards would – it's kind of like the Pistons situation where the Wizards would just give him the bag, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, if you're the Wizards, you do that. You give him whatever.
You do it right way, yeah.
Whatever.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd fire Tim Connolly and give him whatever he wanted right now as the Wolves. Bob Myers could have my house. I'd rent my house right at this point if he could be our GM.
Literally. So before we transition, Spinny, answer these questions. Is Bob Myers done? Is he actually going to retire or is he going to go with another team? And 2, obviously, is the Warriors dynasty over?
I think it's either Washington or TV type job. And
I could see that.
I lean TV or broadcasting or agents or something like. I feel like he is still wanting to work and do something cool. He just doesn't want to grind that it takes to be the GM at this point. And so the only way he would is, like you said, if he's going back home, and that's just kind of a can I make my hometown team good, which I get. Like, if I was ever a successful NBA or NFL or NBA GM, like at the end of my career, I'd be coming back here for sure to try to. It'd be ultimate goal. It'd be like if I can get a Minnesota team to win a championship, that's
going in the history books.
Yeah, going in the
That's
history
for damn
books.
sure.
You're just the GOAT then. So
Yeah.
I get that perspective, but I think TV or podcasting or agent is more likely.
Dynasty
What was the other
over?
thing?
Yes or no?
Dynasty over? Nah, no. They got another year.
No, in regards to like maybe making a West Conference Finals run, or you actually think they could
go to
win
the
another
finals.
title?
Yeah, they could. Especially if they can figure out Jordan Poole or trade Jordan Poole for something.
That's a possibility.
I think it could work.
All right.
Kyrie Irving? Question mark? Or not?
I don't know.
Too much
I'm
guard.
I'm still leaning into Kyrie being a Maverick, honestly.
Yeah. What forwards are available though? They need a wing or a forward. Who?
Man, I don't really know.
That's the thing. Like, what are we?
There's not really many wings available. Everyone's always wanting a wing. You know what I mean? Because they're guards. There's a zillion of them in the league, dude. That's why it never made sense to pay him that money from the get go. Because you can find somebody to replace Jordan Poole 100%. He's replacing
Anybody, really?
Yes, inefficient scores. Wow.
Hard.
Never seen one of those in the NBA.
Hard to find them.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
The Jalen Greens of the world.
Exactly.
Also,
there's a zillion.
I saw this
Fred
one.
VanVleet, a zillion of them.
Speaking of that, RJ Barrett came to mind. I saw this tweet today. I just had to shout it out because it was so unbelievable. I literally said, "What the?" in the middle of it.
I already know what you're talking about. You're talking about the bus.
The
tweet?
bus?
No, maybe you're not.
No.
I saw a tweet that was listing a bunch of players that are all third year or less, and they were like saying they're bust already, like RJ Barrett and like Cade Cunningham, and I was like,
it did include RJ Barrett, and this was a comment related back to a Wolves thing that RJ Barrett was better than Anthony Edwards, was as good as Anthony Edwards. That's what I was just like, wow. You can tell people don't watch the Wolves. That's for sure.
Huh?
You can tell media members don't watch the Wolves.
What?
Yeah. RJ Barrett and Anthony Edwards equal in basketball talent.
That's unreal.
Right?
I don't know what that person. That's NBA Twitter for you, man. They don't know what the hell
it is. It's unbelievable. People have takes just for takes. Sorry, we've gone too long in this segment. We got anything else on the news before we wrap it up?
No, I think we can jump to our new segment. We're going to actually do some fantasy baseball, finally. We're going to start with our very own Nukes and Flukes segment. Exact same as Studs and Duds that we did for football. Just gave it a little baseball spin to it. Spinny, why don't you give me one of your nukes? Someone who's been absolutely killing it in fantasy to start this season.
Nukes, Wander Franco. Love it. Took a shot on him in our fantasy league. That's where I got this guy from. Everybody was sleeping on him, thinking he was going to whatever. But, yeah, 5th most points among batters. For reference, I'm not counting Ohtani as a batter because his points or whatever. So this is excluding him.
Yeah.
5th most points among batters. His ADP was the 33rd batter on ESPN and 56th overall across all fantasy baseball platforms. So, yeah, I think he has been unbelievable so far. The Rays obviously have been unbelievable. That will kind of be a commonality on my list. I just wanted to credit to the stats for this. Came from fantasypros.com, which averages Yahoo, ESPN, CBS, and 3 other fantasy baseball platforms and just averages their numbers. And that's what I've used for batting ADP. So sometimes I'll mention the ESPN one specifically because that's what I use most commonly for fantasy, but also I have this number that has averaged other fantasy platforms. So that's where we're getting our numbers from.
Yeah. I second that. My numbers are going to be the same. I took them from that side as well. My stud, one of them, Nathan Eovaldi, used to be Boston Red Sox last year. Now his first year on the Texas Rangers. I did mention before the season started, if he's able to take a jump, the Rangers could be a sleeper team. Adolis Garcia is another guy that I mentioned, their stud outfielder. He's also a nuke so far this year. But Nathan Eovaldi, man, this is unreal. ADP 70, 70th pitcher. He is currently SP5, the fifth ranked pitcher. What? Like, I can't even comprehend that jump. That is unreal. 20 points per game, already 224 total points. He's 7-2 already this year with a 2.4 ERA. Just incredible start for this man. I mean, 7 wins 2 months into the season. I mean, he's on pace for 20. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, he has been ridiculous. Well, for me, my second nuke also comes from the Tampa Bay Rays. Common theme here.
You just picking your own fantasy guys here. Are you going to say Randy Rosarena?
Of course I am. Just wanted to say, draft Tampa Bay Rays is a good strategy for fantasy this year. Hitter number 15 on ESPN, and he had an ADP of 40th on ESPN and 49th overall between all platforms. So you're loving it right now. You're loving having Randy. He's been raking. Hasn't really put it together in previous years other than the playoffs.
That's what I was just going to say that.
Not like fantasy-wise super relevant, but this year he's just putting it together. The Rays lineup's putting it together. But yeah, he's been playoff Randy in the regular season this year. So fantasy people are loving that.
I was going to say, I don't think he's ever finished as a top 50 batter.
No.
Fantasy. So
I took a late shot on him. He was my
for sure. But like even being top 50 ADP was a little surprising to me. I thought for sure he'd have been outside of that.
Yeah.
My guy.
Obviously, sorry too. I want to just clarify this really quick. When I'm talking about ADP, I'm among batters or among pitchers if they're a batter or a pitcher, not overall ADP.
Right.
So just
his ADP would have been way lower if you were including pitchers in that. Yeah, for sure. This guy is even lower, way lower than that. Obviously, he's a rookie. That's Corbin Carroll. He was my NL ROI pick. He's definitely looking like he's going to be it if he's able to keep this up. His ADP was 89th, barely even a top 100 projected batter. And he's 25th right now. That might be off by a couple if I miscounted, but he's the 11th ranked outfielder. He's almost an OF1, which is unreal to think about as a rookie. He already has 16 stolen bases. That's kind of what he's known for. I did mention that he's kind of like a Steven Kwan, good contact hitter and fast. He's a good base runner. He's going to score a lot of runs. He's going to get a lot of stolen bases. That's exactly what he's doing. He's batting 285, 34 runs already, and 16 stolen bases. Those are his highlight stats. Unreal start, and that's why he's part of the reason why the Diamondbacks have been a surprise to many, many people so far to start this season. Should we jump to Flukes now?
Quick guy I want to shout out quick on Nukes. Cody Bellinger, top 10 batter before he got injured.
This guy's just picking his own players.
I'm shouting this one out because I got Cody in the last round of the draft.
That's true.
Pick 204 or something like that. So,
yeah,
big shout out to myself. Big dub.
Hey, well, you took that gamble how many years in a row now? It's finally paying
off. About to pay off, yeah.
3rd year's the charm, huh?
I've had him every year since NL MVP, so we're loving it.
Yeah, you got him in round 21. Just looked. Flukes, oh, man. Spinny's out here calling out all of his monsters who've been ranking on his team. My first 2 flukes, I'm saying them together because they've been equally disappointing, and those are my 2 most valuable players, both of them pitchers, Sandy Alcantara, the reigning Cy Young, and Dylan Cease, 2nd place in Cy Young for the AL last year. This is so embarrassing how bad they've been. Sandy, What do you think his ADP was? Pitchers, obviously, only.
2?
4.
Yeah.
SP4. What is he right? What is he right now?
Got to be like 58.
That's damn close. SP55.
Mm.
51 spots lower than he was projected. Dylan Cease was SP12 to start, and he is SP48. This is. I'm not even going to tell you their stats. They're flirting with 5 ERAs. That's all you need to know is that drop right there. Just on.
Hey, I'd trade you Trent Grisham back if you want him. We can just flip flop that trade right back around if you want to get rid of Sandy. You know, if you're getting tired of him, you can.
What's his name? God, the pitcher I gave you is probably not even on a team.
Yeah, I can't even.
Was
remember.
it JT Brubaker or something like that?
Yeah, it was. It was.
I don't know if that man's even on a team. So
yeah, that's tough.
Get better. Gosh.
Yeah. Also, speaking of pitchers that suck, this is a hate on me and a bad draft. Wasted a mid-round pick on this man, Mr. King of giving up 7 earned runs every other start. Lance Lynn, unbelievably bad.
Drafted as Twins fans.
Yeah, drafted as the 36th pitcher overall ADP. He right now, where do you think he is?
Say that again. 33rd.
36th.
Okay, and he is now 74.
63. SP7 for Lance Lynn. Had some good starts, but had some really, really bad ones too. So hopefully we can get a little more consistency from the man.
Hey, he's an SP7. Sandy's an SP6. That should make you feel a little better.
That does make me feel better, honestly. Because, yeah, I can't wait to beat you this year. Ooh, it's awesome. I love having a better team than Boston Fantasy. It's one of my favorite things in life.
First time ever. Oh, do you have any more duds? Otherwise, I'm going to roast this one man real quick, and we'll jump on to our other segment.
Last dud, one of my hometown boys, Byron Buxton. Even with injury history, he was the 53rd overall batter taken in the draft. He right now is batter number 100. Terrible.
Exactly 100?
100 exactly. Counted it twice. Terrible for Byron Buxton. So I have to do it to him. Hopefully this will be like
hopefully it's a wake-up call
for him. Yeah, a little inspiration. I believe in you, Buck, but you got to step up, boy, because this stuff, buddy, you got to step up. So that's tough.
It'd be hilarious to look and see what percentage of his fantasy points were scored in the first 3 weeks, because he started pretty well to the season, and then it's just been roller coaster drops since then. This man, my last fluke. Sorry, baseball. Trey Turner. What is he doing? This is like a first round player, ADP 12. This guy's getting drafted in the first round, second round, and every single draft. He has 89 total points. He hasn't even eclipsed 100 fantasy points yet this year. He is shortstop. What do you think? What shortstop is he, rank wise, right now? Obviously drafted as SS1 or 2 but what is he?
17?
Damn close. 18.
Ooh.
18th shortstop. We're talking Trey Turner.
Especially with the stolen base rules too.
That's what I'm saying. He's known for scoring runs, right? And getting stolen bases and doing this all-around production. He only has 27 runs. That's pretty much average. A lot of players towards the top, 40 plus already. So he's that much behind the leaders. He's usually top 5 in MLB in runs scored. Stolen bases, 7. Only 7. There's plenty of dudes with 15 plus already. There's dudes up. Esterio Ruiz has almost 30. I'm not necessarily expecting that, but 7 with these new rules. I don't know what Trey Turner's doing. At some point within the last 2 weeks, he finally eclipsed the stats he had in the World Baseball Classic. In just those few games, he had better stats than in this season. So that's all you need to know about how bad Trey Turner has been.
That is terrible.
Now, our other fantasy segment, we're going to do keeper cut. I think it transitions pretty well, talking from flukes. So all these guys we're about to talk about are borderline flukes here. So Spinny, give me a list of some dudes here.
All right. We did not share this with each other, so this is going to be a
We did
little
not.
off the top of your head comparison. Michael Harris, outfielder, Atlanta.
Okay. Michael Harris, I would say, I don't know his fantasy numbers. I know it's terrible. It's probably around 1.5 points per game. Last year, he was probably in that 2.5 range. I would say hold on to him for a little longer. That's normally I would say drop him just because he's an outfielder, and there's always a ton of outfielders in free agency. I would say hold on to him a little bit longer. This is the defending rookie of the year, even though I don't think he should have won. His teammate Strider should have won. But he's the defending rookie of the year on an amazing team, a World Series favorite. Keep him for a little longer and see if he's able to turn it
around. 1 point per game so far. 35 points. 35 total points on the season for Michael.
35?
Yeah. Ownership at ESPN down to 69% of leagues, hitting 174, 2 home runs, and 8 RBIs. That's his stat line for this year. So
you keeping or cutting him?
Ooh, I'm still keeping him a little. I think he's. Okay. I think we still have upside, like you said, rookie of the year. Patrick Wisdom.
Patrick Wisdom. I would assume since you're throwing this name out there, he is starting to fall off. He hit a lot of home runs at the beginning of the year. I would say go ahead and cut him. I don't think he's ever really been fantasy relevant. You're probably not going to get anything trade-wise. Go ahead and drop him.
Yeah. He's at 2 points per game. Owning only 25% of leagues, 96 total points, 14 homers, 28 RBIs. Obviously, though, a lot of those were early. So, yeah, I'm going to say keep, but I like it.
Really?
Chris Bryant. Obviously,
I would say
he's on the 10-day IL right now, starting from yesterday.
Right. So, I would say this one's really tough. I want to say keep, but I don't know. I think I might be ready to pass on Chris Bryant. That's crazy to say. I know I just said keep an outfielder in Michael Harris, but I think you can safely drop Chris Bryant. Plays in hitter-friendly park, Coors Field, so there's always that. And obviously, he has history. He's been good in the past. But last year, the year before that, and now this year, injury. Like he's always on the IL. Do you really want to hold on to him on your IL spots? You're limited 2 or 3 IL spots, whatever you have in your league. Like I don't know, just drop him. Honestly, that's what I would do.
Chris Bryant dropped. And last but not least, a guy who was included on my duds segment, and I had it on here because I want you to help me out in our fantasy league. Lance Lynn.
I'm not going to help you out. You want me to answer if you should drop this man?
Yeah, Lance Lynn.
All right. Lance Lynn.
Not just for me. The Hardys and Hardos want to know.
Lance Lynn. Man, this one is really tough. I'm going to say hold on to him a little longer. Last year, he went through a similar stretch. He was hurt, came back from the IL. He went through a similar stretch to start his season where he was, 7 runs allowed one game, negative 10 fantasy points. And all of a sudden, his next start, he's scoring 30. He did that basically for the first month or two last year. And then all of a sudden, he just started exploding, dropping 20-plus fantasy points every single start and finished damn near SP2. So I'd give Lance Lynn a little more time in hopes that he turns it around like he did last year.
Not bad. That is the list of people top.
Wow. I am so shocked I didn't have anybody that you just said. So now I have a lot of people written down. I think I'm gonna pick and choose here. All right. First one. Alex Manoah.
Man, I gotta think. I can't. Blue Jays, right?
Blue Jays.
Yeah.
He was.
They've been not good. Vegas odds though have them still second. So, or first maybe. They think they're gonna come back. I'm gonna say keep. I think he'll do better. I'm not really sure what his fantasy stats look like, so we're taking a shot in the dark. But I'm gonna say keep.
They're brutal, like
Uh,
absolutely brutal. Even more disappointing than Cease and Alcantara so far. This man is position ranked 123. He is averaging 4.9 points per game as a starting pitcher.
123.
Yeah, he is averaging 4.9 points. Spinny, this is without injuries too. He's been healthy all season, and he only has 59 points as a pitcher. 1-6 with a 5.46 ERA. Alex Manoah stats. Owned in 75% of leagues. I do agree with you though. I'd keep him for a little longer. He was obviously a monster last year, SP1 or for sure an SP2 at the very least. And so I'd keep him a little longer just because of that. Like you said, his team is good, but it's a short leash, man. Like this happens. Pitchers in their second, third year, they start to get figured out by the batters. That's when you see a little dip before they start to climb back up. So this might be a bad year for
be a top 100 pitcher, for goodness sakes, to be on
a
team.
That's what I'm saying. Unreal. All right. Next one, Kyle Schwarber.
Kyle Schwarber. So is he not hitting dingers? I feel like he's not as much. Because last year, right, we were talking top.
He was top 3, wasn't he?
Yeah. He's on the Phillies. I'm going to say keep. I just think the upside's still good. I feel like he's probably not hitting for average, but has decent home runs or something. Like it's something along those lines. So
you hit it right on the nose.
A little bit. Yeah. I'm going to say keep.
You hit it right on the nose. 163 is his batting average. He's well below the Mendoza line right now, but he does have 13 home runs. So hopefully he's able to get that batting average up to at least like 220. And then you're sitting pretty good fancy-wise, but he's only got 102 points on the season with 1.9 points per game. A reason why I brought him up is because he was just dropped in our league the other day. So he's still owned in 90% of leagues. So I'm with you, Spinny. I'll probably keep him a little longer, though. Jose Abreu.
Man, he's been terrible. Like, terrible.
Brutal. I had him on my team. If
that
answers your question.
Yeah, you got to cut him. I mean, he's got to be in the range of Mike. He's got to be in Michael Harris range, right? That's how bad we got to be talking.
100%. You're pretty much spot on there. Again, he's got 53 points, 1 point per game. So, yeah, pretty much Michael Harris.
Yeah,
Bing. What's concerning with Abreu, though, is obviously he's like 36 years old. He's old. Yeah. He seems like he's lost all of his power. He only has 1 home run. 1. And he's batting .211. So he's not even giving you the average. So it's like, why even have him?
Yeah, why is he on the team? Yeah.
All right, my last one. I'll kind of want to do another pitcher. So let's go Joe Musgrove.
Joe Musgrove. So San Diego hasn't been as good as expected. They've still been okay. But he's got to be. I wonder how bad it's been.
This man might not have been the best one to say, just because he did start the season hurt.
Yeah.
So he's only played 6 or 7 games, I think, so far.
Give him some more time. Still on, I'm guessing, like 70-ish maybe.
81% of leagues.
Really? Okay. So then, give him another few starts. Give him 12 starts. So I'd give him another 4 or 5 matchups. See what's going on. Obviously, after 3 matchups, if you're getting 4 negative starts in 3 matchups, then maybe play it a little bit different if that's your fantasy type. But give him a little bit longer leash.
Yeah, I'm definitely in agreement there. He is 2-2, but he has a 5.6 ERA in his 7 starts or 6 starts, whatever he has. He has 59 points on the season. That's it. But he has 43 of them in his last 2 starts.
Yeah.
So he's trending in the right direction. He has 23 and 20 in his last 2 starts. So I would definitely hold on to Musgrove like Spinny said, for at least 3 or 4 more starts and see what happens.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think that was it for fantasy. We are now going to talk about the NBA playoffs as the NBA finals are starting tonight. Oh, this is exciting.
No, it's not.
Maybe it's not for you because your team lost, but it's exciting to me because I don't have to watch the freaking stupid Celtics in the finals.
Why don't you want to watch the fun, exciting, do or die Celtics in the finals?
Because I hate Boston fans. Screw Boston teams. I hate them. I hate them all.
You don't even dislike the team, you dislike the fans.
Yeah.
Why? What do Boston fans do to you?
I hate, well, one, they're racist as hell.
Okay, well, yeah, okay. That's
well, yeah, okay. So you can't deny it.
Oh, no. What do you mean?
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about like people actually live in Boston, legit Boston fans. Yes. Like I hate the Red Sox. I hate the Patriots. Like I don't mind the Celtics. I definitely love a lot of the guys on their team, but I just can't stand their fans. So I don't want them to rejoice after winning. You know, like I don't want them to experience the celebration. So screw that.
Yeah, true. You're probably also mad that Tatum's better than any Kentucky player ever. So that probably is a bit.
That is cap.
Too.
That's cap.
Is it?
It is cap.
Name.
All right, Spinny. Give me a quick reaction for the ending of the Heat Celtics, since that was your team, and then we'll jump into what we think about this finals. That's
That's YouTube exclusive, but on par. I just, if any team was gonna work all the way back and then we're shooting 25% in game 6 and game 7 from 3. 25. The team that shot top 3 from 3 this season, we're shooting 25% 2 games in a row. Sick. Sweetness. Malcolm Brogdon might as well have not played. And the only time we did good is when Derek White had the damn ball. It was the only guy that knew what the hell was going on during that game was Derek White.
Which is crazy.
Ridiculous. And then Tatum, of course, it's like, I get it. Like, he did not look like himself, and he was grimacing every single time he was landing. I get it. But it is a little like, come on, man, when that's the first thing he says out of the thing in the press conference. It's just like, yeah, you know.
He said that first.
Yeah. It's just like, you're right. I get it. It hampered you, but I just think he could have done a slightly better job. And the loss of that cost Jaylen Brown to try too hard and try to go to his left too much and have the exact same amount of turnovers as the Heat had in the game. So it's just, and that included Jimmy. Their 8th turnover was Jimmy in dead ball time. So it was basically 7 turnovers actually during the game. Brown had more than them in live play. Just dumb. Expected though, kind of.
Kind of expected.
It's just the Jekyll side of the Celtics came too far, and they shouldn't have lost Game 3. They shouldn't have lost Game 3.
No, they shouldn't have.
That's the thing. If they hadn't lost Game 3, then we wouldn't be talking about the same thing.
It's the most this season, I will say, this season Celtics thing ever, like you said, to come back. Well, 1, to put yourself in a 3-0 hole against an 8 seed. And then 2, come back from said 3-0 hole to tie the series 3-3 and force a Game 7 on your home court to only lose to an 8 seed by 20 points in Game 7.
Because you couldn't shoot.
Because you couldn't shoot the one thing you do.
And because Eastern Conference Finals MVP snub. Biggest snub
Caleb Martin
in the history of the award. Biggest snub in the history of the award, Caleb Martin. Do we watch the series or do we just pick the biggest name and give it to him? Because Caleb Martin deserved that crap. He balled. Every game, 20 points. Good shooting all the time. Unbelievable. Had more points than Jaylen Brown in the series. Unbelievable. You can't win if you're Boston and Caleb Martin outscores Jaylen Brown. Can't happen.
I mean, Jaylen Brown had more shots than points even in those series.
Not a good series for him, but you still got to give him the bag. Get some better coaches on the bench and figure it out. Just someone to hold them accountable. Someone to be Marcus Smart as a coach. That's what they needed. That's what Ime was. I feel like Ime was an asshole, kind of. But, like, it's just what they needed. They just needed a hard ass, you know? And Joe Maz? I don't know if Joe Maz is a hard ass.
I don't think he is either. I mean, this man is Jimmy Butler's age, pretty much. They played each other in college.
Yeah.
Marquette and West Virginia, I think Missoula played at, I want to say.
And there's a chance Jimmy Butler could out-coach him in this series.
Yeah. The Heat, though, I mean, this got to be kind of transitioning here to the NBA Finals. This got to be, like, the best, easily the best in our lifetime, but I want to say all-time finals run. We're talking an 8 seed. First 8 seed to ever, at least out of the Eastern Conference, make the NBA Finals. Their second best scorer, you know, Bam's obviously their second best player, but the second best scorer hasn't played.
The Knicks made the finals as an 8 seed.
Really? I was seeing all over that this was the first 8 seed out of the East.
Or maybe it was the Eastern Conference Finals only? I don't know. But I thought the Knicks made the finals as an 8 seed.
But either way, first or second team out of the East to make the 8 seed or to make the finals, you know, the second best scorer is out. You beat the 1 seed in the first round in 5 games. You beat the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference Finals. It makes no sense. Like, how are they in the NBA Finals right now? And then meanwhile, they're facing this Denver Nuggets team, who's just been destroying teams all season. They've been the 1 seed in the West since the middle of December. Like, literally a month and a half into the season, they've been the 1 seed. I don't know what to think of this finals. It's going to be absolutely a dogfight. I do think it's going to be a dogfight. I think probably Nuggets in 6 is going to be my pick. They're going to be close games, all
of them. 1999 Knicks made it to the finals as an 8 seed as well and lost to the Spurs. I hope it's good games. I don't know. I kind of feel like Denver might blow them out. Like, I picked Miami in game 1 on the Al Travis show this morning just to take a shot in the dark. And I've been pondering this for 3 days, really just like who I'm going to pick, where I'm going to go. You know, it's kind of an important take spot here. But I just have to take Denver. I just think that they might be too good. They might blow them out. I don't know. I think
they are really freaking good.
KCP might do a better job on Caleb Martin, which is ridiculous. The Celtics couldn't guard Caleb Martin. But the Celtics...
KCP will definitely do a better job.
The Celtics' defense against 3-point shots versus Miami was terrible. They gave Miami so many open threes throughout the series because traditionally Miami doesn't make them, but they made them. I think Denver's going to do a better job taking away the 3-point shot. Plus, there's just so many guys like who, I don't know. I think the physicality of Denver is going to be hard for Miami to deal with, which is funny to say. But like Aaron Gordon and Jokic, like who are they putting on Aaron Gordon? Because like Jimmy's got to guard MPJ, right? At least a little.
They're going to be smaller at all times, pretty much.
Yeah, but they're going to be smaller. So, and Jamal Murray, when he's on, which he has been every bit as good as Jimmy Butler this playoffs. And
one could even make the argument better even.
Yeah, and if your second best player is as good as the other team's best player, and you have another player better than that, that just doesn't bode well for the other team.
No, I would be shocked. It's going to take a replica of the East Conference Finals from Cody Martin. He's going to have to average at least 20 again. Bam's going to have to increase his play. He's going to have to play better. Jimmy's going to have to, at the bare minimum,
have to stay out of foul trouble against Jokic,
which is not happening.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about for Bam.
Yeah, and Jimmy is going to have to play at least just as good, if not better, probably better. And then they
guard
also are going to need Tyler Hero to come back. There's just so many factors that they need to happen or need them to have. And I just don't see it.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. And I don't know. The Nuggets are a legit team, man. A lot of people not watching them, obviously, they're the Denver Nuggets, like they're like the Minnesota Timberwolves, Oklahoma City Thunder, like they're in flyover country. So a lot of like the media and even people that aren't like huge NBA fans but tune into the playoffs have never really understood how good this team is. But they have everything. Finishing around the rim, playmaking, shot creating, shot making. They have it all. I don't know. I just don't get what they're going to be able to stop Denver on. Like what? Like because you obviously have to pick and choose something, right? Like the obvious answer is to stop Jokic, right? Okay, what are you going to do when Jamal Murray comes off the pick and roll? Then you're just going to focus all your attention on Jokic and give Jamal Murray a wide open driving lane? No, you're probably going to help, which means wide open Michael Porter for 3, wide open KCP for 3. You know what I mean? Like exactly like you said a little bit ago about how the Celtics are getting open looks. I don't think the Nuggets are going to miss these shots. I really don't, especially with home court. They haven't even lost the game, right? They're undefeated at home this playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right.
They are, I'm pretty sure. So it's like, I don't know. I just don't get what they're going to take away from the Nuggets. The Nuggets just have too many answers.
Yeah. Especially if MPJ is hitting contested, stupid shots that he takes at the rate that he's been. And if Jokic and Murray are both 50, 40, 90, essentially, like
you're not winning. Like you just can't beat that.
No, it's just too efficient. But Spo and Jimmy probably win a game or two. I think again, Spo is significantly better than Michael Malone, so that'll probably do it up. They can't run zone against this team either. That's the other thing. They can't do that like they did to Boston.
No, Jokic will carve that up.
Stands in the middle of that zone and it's over.
It's over.
He takes that stand in the middle and then you're just screwed.
Well, that's why I think it's over no matter what. Like, that's even in man. If Jokic catches the ball in the middle of the floor around the free throw line, you're done. You lost.
I know.
They're scoring.
You literally can't let him catch it in the paint.
Ever. No, it's over.
Or around the free throw line. It's over.
Yeah.
It's already 60% chance he's going to make it or shoot a dime to a 40% three-point shooter.
Yeah. And Bam, he's going to have to be physical and aggressive. That's the only way you can guard Jokic is push him off his spot. You know, if he's trying to catch it at 10, you have to push him to 14 type deal. You know what I mean? And that's on every single Jokic touch. You have to push him out farther than his spot.
Without
exactly. With that aggressive play, he's going to get fouls. He's going to be out of the game. If Bam's not in the game, there's not a single soul on the Miami Heat that will even remotely slow down Nikola Jokic.
What? C-Zelling getting the job done or what? My boy
Cody Zeller ain't even... Man, unless it's a blowout, Cody Zeller will not log a single minute this series. There's no
Big
way.
Zellington ain't logging a single minute?
Did he even play against the Celtics? I don't remember him coming in. He did for a little bit?
He did.
Okay. Yeah. We'll see what happens, man. Game 1. Let's hear game 1 take before we hop off here.
I got to stick with it. Heat won every game 1. They're pulling off something crazy. Nuggets are going to be rusty. They sat too long. Not quite motivated. Maybe not motivated, but just not quite in it.
Right. It's a little rusty. Yeah, I could see that happening for sure. I just think, maybe Jimmy's still hobbled by his ankle injury. He did definitely not look the same throughout the ending of that series. He shot piss poor basically every game, 5 for 21 in game 6 or whatever. So I don't know. I'm thinking, all this game 7 stuff, longer series, you just played like 3-4 days ago. I think that might come back and haunt them, especially going and playing in Denver's altitude. So they're going to have to start. They're going to have to win the first quarter. If they want to win the game, they have to start hot, win the first quarter by at least 5 to 10 points, and then they might be able to sneak out this win in game 1 here. But I don't know. This could get ugly. This could, like you said. This could be a blowout series. I do think, though, just the toughness, the grit of the Miami Heat, they'll be able to get a win or 2.
Yeah, agreed. They're too good. So, taking Denver, I I don't want it.
Denver and how many? I already said Denver and 6. So
5.
what's yours? 5?
No,
Okay.
6. Denver 6. I don't want to agree with you, but just seems right.
It just sounds right? Like,
Boston had a better chance against Denver than Miami did.
well, duh.
That's why I wanted them in it.
That's you wanted them in it because it's your team. That's
Well,
why you
of course, but I'm saying like for the good of the people, for the good of the series, for the good of the finals, we wanted Boston in it. Better matchup for the good of humankind, the sports people kind.
Real hoops fans will love this series.
Real hoops fans.
They will. If you actually like
old boring heads that
if you actually know what you're watching,
NBA might like it.
If you actually know what you're watching, adjustments, schemes, if you actually understand basketball like that, you will like this series. A lot of adjustments. Both coaches are veterans in this league. They will make adjustments on the fly, from quarter to quarter, from half to half, from game to game. There's none of this freaking Mike Budenholzer bull craps, none of this Joe Mazzulla bull crap. No. These guys actually know what they're doing. It's going to be a great series.
Does Michael Malone know what he's doing?
Well, at least
the jury's
more
out.
than freaking Joe Mazzulla.
Wow.
I mean, this guy's been in the NBA. He's been a coach in the NBA for over 20 years.
Michael Malone knows more than me and you about coaching. Yeah. Woo, surprise.
I'm just saying, he's probably could be totally wrong, but I want to say he's the third longest tenured coach in the NBA right now.
That's around it. For sure. I think 8 years. Suppose at 15, like Kerr might be a little longer than Malone.
Oh, yeah. Kerr. How did I forget about Kerr? Yeah, Kerr might be a little longer, but that one's pretty much the same, though.
Yep.
Well, Spinny, do you have any other thoughts? Otherwise, we'll get
I'm going to be rooting against my take in this series. We're gonna be rooting for the Miami Heat in this series because
I really don't care. I just want good basketball. That's all I want.
Yeah, close games. That's what I want.
Close games. Jokic and Jimmy Butler, great performances. I want to see the stars ball out and close games. That's all I truly care about.
Facts.
All right, Hearties Hardos. We will catch y'all next week for episode 61.
61. Hug your